Amazon is reportedly considering a reboot of Trump's old reality show, The Apprentice. And they might be asking Donald Jr. to host it. Now, in the past, Trump has said he wanted his daughter Ivanka to take over as host. So my question is, would Ivanka be a better host? Pick your train wreck.
Maybe they can all just go on reality TV and get out of the White House and out of government.
That might work.
And like just do that. I would be very supportive of that. But I will tell you, I just think that one of the reasons why we have Donald Trump in office is because people saw him on The Apprentice and actually believed that he was a good business person.
Right.
When we know that Joy mentions all the time that he bankrupted casinos, like nobody ever does that, but he did that.
Sonny, every time I go to a casino, which is constantly.
Yes.
I never really, and Brian knows this because he's a compulsive gambler. And I come from a degenerate family of gamblers. So I never really walk away with money.
No.
Because the house
always
never
wins.
loses.
Yeah, the house always wins.
So to bankrupt 2 casinos, how bad a businessman do you have to be?
And that's my fear in terms of normalizing and sanitizing this family if they are chosen to sort of be the host. And let's not forget that the Donald Trump Foundation, the Family Foundation, was found, I think, following a 2018 lawsuit by New York Attorney General Letitia James. Trump was forced to pay more than $2 million in court-ordered damages to 8 different charities for misusing charitable funds at the Trump Foundation for political purposes. Charitable funds. And they harmed children. And then as part of the settlement, Donald Trump Jr. and Ivanka and Eric had to undergo training on the responsibilities of officers and directors of charitable organizations.
Wow.
Is that someone that should be like the standard of business?
But when you take away even like the looking at the Trump family as what we know now and just as a TV brand, I think it's funny they think they can just swapsies. It took a unique character that could be mean and a little like people were like, whoa, we just didn't know that would become the president.
And who likes
it did
saying
work.
You're fired.
Yes. But you can't, just because Don Jr. or whichever one it is carries the last name does not mean you just swap out Trumps like their cards. Like it doesn't work that way.
But you're assuming that the reason they're doing this is because they wanted to succeed and they wanted to make money. I don't know that they gave Melania $40 million for that documentary because they thought it was going to win an Oscar or because they thought it was going to be a hit, but rather because it's a way of getting close to Trump. And look, I chose not to watch that documentary on Melania. They chose to give her money. We can choose what we watch, what we not watch, who we buy from, who we don't buy from.
Yeah.
So I think we have a lot of power in our pocket, but there is no doubt that the tech titans from day one, since the campaign made a choice that being close to Trump was good for their businesses, was good for their pocketbooks, and it has been.
Well, who's
good
handling
for them.
the reboot? Who's
How the hell do I know?
Listen, I am not
Amazon.
Amazon.
Oh, right.
Okay, so I'm not the audience for this. I will not be tuning in, but before you throw your tomatoes, it's not the worst idea for a year or two. So hear me out here from a business perspective.
Yeah.
77 million people voted for Donald Trump. Only probably, let's say, 20% of that are his diehard fans. They buy the merch, they wear the things, they show up at his, they go and see the Melania doc, which actually had a huge opening. Everyone was like kind of surprised by that. If you get a fraction of those people for a year or two to watch this reboot of The Apprentice, great. My point would be, come 2028, I think the Trump fatigue is going to be very real. I'm not signing a 10-year deal for this show. I'd maybe do a 1 year, let's give it a trial run. But MAGA diehards will watch it, and then the rest of us can tune out.
You just pitched this story that was interesting about 6 out of 10 people don't even want to read anything with Donald Trump's name.
Correct.
That kind of flies in the face of even a 2-year deal, right?
Why would they want to watch a show?
But Jeff Bezos gave money to the inaugural committee. He gave money to the ballroom. He was at the state dinner with the king and queen this week. This is not about making money or whether it's a hit or not. It's about how close can I get to Donald Trump.
And for 1 year, we can get some chaotic TV on Amazon.
I haven't seen the Trumps do anything that doesn't involve money, though. So I would say there's got to be some component that they're looking for money.
What do you mean, that we should send them on the Survivor Island and see how that goes?
I agree with you. It's like, like I always say, Trump's got the riz, and that's what keeps these people tied to him. His children do not. They would be better off doing How to Be a Nepo Baby.